In the DC VA, we have these two menus, at least for the time being, that are the salad, which I mentioned earlier, sound-alike, look-alike drugs for inpatient and outpatient. These work slightly differently from our usual medication orders. They're divided up by the name of the medication alphabetically. So insulin is the big one. Antiretrovirals are one. So we can select insulins here or select H through P. And you can see we have heparin, metformin, lorazepam, etc. It has certain parts of the word capitalized just to emphasize the pronunciation. We select insulins. This is where all of our insulins are ordered. So if you wanted 70/30, which I'm honestly not sure that we carry anymore, but MPH, we have regular, glargine, aspart, etc. This would be how we order these medications in our system. This will come up if we try to place an order that is under this menu. So if I type in insulin, it's supposed to tell me to go to the salad menu, which it did not. But generally, if you try to order something that is in the salad menu, it's supposed to redirect you to that menu, and then you have to exit out and then go back into this menu to order it. We also have something called MUE, medication utilization evaluation. This basically requires a note to be entered to make sure that we're reviewing appropriate use criteria and patient criteria regarding ordering these medications. Common ones are apixaban, rivaroxaban, that have specific indications or restrictions on ordering these medicines. So this is another sort of safety mechanism for us to enter these medications appropriately. We'll also cover IV fluids here. We select IV fluids, it will pull up our IV fluids menu. This, in my opinion, is overly complicated, but we can walk through it. So we'll type in the fluids that we want, or you could scroll if you wanted to. Let's just say we want to order normal saline. We want our strength to be a liter, and this is not an additive, it's the fluid itself. So we want our strength to be just a full normal liter of saline. The route is IV. We want to run it continuously, not intermittently. Then this is where we designate our infusion rate. So we'll say 150 mLs per hour, which is the default unit here, or the allowed unit. Then we can select a duration. So we can say for amount of time, let's say we want to run it overnight. So we'll say 12 hours and it'll just run overnight until we can recheck on the patient. Or let's say we want to give 3 liters, our patient's coming in with AKI. We want to give fluids and reassess. So we'll start with 3 liters at 150 an hour, which will take most of a full day to run anyway. Most of these, when the patient is hospitalized, will have a specific indication, or at least a lot of them will. In this case, it doesn't. We'll say hypovolemia for this patient, and then say accept in this order. We'll go in, and you can see that it's ordered 0.9% sodium chloride, 1,000 mLs, IV at 150 an hour with a total volume of 3 liters for hypovolemia. If we go back into this order, there's a way to add things to this. So that is under additives. So let's say we wanted to add some potassium chloride. Our patient is also hypokalemic. So we'll say we want to give 4 MEQs per bag and run it at the same rate. So at 150 an hour, that's going to take, what, 8 hours or something. for this to infuse. So 4 MEQs of potassium in 8 hours should be acceptable. Again, we need to reselect the route here. Because I've added this potassium, we have to select a different specific route, say okay. Other additives, you can see there are a number of different oncology options. This is how our chemotherapy infusions are run. Those are obviously restricted to oncology to order. There are a number of different order options that we could add on here. Most of the time, we're not adding in any additives. So if we don't want it, we can select and remove just like this. We go back to our original sodium chloride order as it was. So we'll put in our indication. The little asterisk means that's required, and say accept. Again, we're back to our original order, which we can sign, or we'll say cancel unsigned order this time. Let's say we decided we didn't need to give fluids right now. We actually think this patient is volume overloaded and not dehydrated. So I want to say, let's cancel this order. It pulls up just verifying that you're going to cancel. We'll say, okay, it'll essentially disappear. It shows up as canceled, just so you can see that it was there still, but it's not signed and canceled.